Hello, welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about this paper from Google, from AGI to ASI. Now, somehow this paper slipped under my radar over the last few weeks. It came out on June 12th, 2026, but hold on, because this one's a real doozy. It says, over the last decade, building human-level artificial general intelligence has moved from far-fetched speculation to being a concrete next decade target for many of the largest AI organizations. Now, if you don't know what's going on here, let me give you a little bit more context. AGI is something that we've been discussing for a while in this community. We've been trying to figure out exactly when AGI is going to happen, and if you don't know what that term means, it means a computer that knows that it's a computer, a system that's aware of itself, just like you or I are aware of ourselves, something that is generally capable of doing most types of work that human beings can do, including, like you or me, working on ourselves and trying to improve ourselves. In a post-AGI world, scarcity might be a thing of the past. We've already seen some of the more interesting parts of the AI scene freak out about recursive self-improvement. But this paper right here really represents something new. It's been a while since anybody released a big paper about where things are likely to go, and this paper does the trick. Achieving this goal would have profound and far-reaching impacts on human society, which raises many complex questions for the decade ahead. This report, I'm reading the report right now if you're just listening to the video, this report investigates how AI itself might continue to develop in a post-AGI world along the continuum of machine intelligence. The end point of this continuum, universal AI, is theoretically well understood, which provides some formal grounding for the main focus of this report, the transition from human-level AGI to artificial general superintelligence, which intuitively can be understood as a system that is more intelligent and cognitively capable than large organizations of humans. Now let's take a moment to break down what that might mean. If an artificially generally intelligent system could be thought of as, let's say, a house cat, something that can clean itself, provide for its own needs, meaningfully understand who and what it is, and given the capabilities of current frontier AI models, probably work on its own code. An artificially super intelligent system, this report says, would be more capable than entire organizations of human beings. I read the report. It goes into detail further down about what that exactly means. And what they say is, imagine large corporations full of tens of thousands of individuals being outclassed by an automated system. Now, a lot of people would say, well, we need to ban it. We need to stop this immediately. We have to prevent this from happening. My position, personally, is why? Why would we want to prevent something from coming into existence that could potentially solve all of the problems that our ancestors dealt with since our species has existed? On the table is the end of famine, the end of disease, possibly the end of scarcity. I know these are big concepts and it's a large pill to swallow, but stay with me here for a minute. After characterizing ASI, the report says, this report discusses 4 potential pathways from AGI to ASI: scaling AGI, AI paradigm shifts, recursive improvement, and ASI emerging from large-scale multi-agent collectives. The report then discusses possible frictions and bottlenecks along these pathways, determining whether the impact of these frictions will be negligible or substantial, raises a number of concrete open research questions. I'll put the link to the report down in the description. It's definitely worth your time to read. Due to large uncertainties for predicting ASI progress, it cannot be ruled out that AI progress might continue to accelerate over the next years. This could imply that the image of a single transformative step change caused by the introduction of human-level AGI into our society could be inaccurate, which is an interesting thought. More apt might be the prospect of a series of transformative societal changes caused by AI-enabled progress and breakthroughs across many areas of science and technology. We're already seeing that start to happen. There's a concept called the singularity. If you've never heard of Ray Kurzweil, let me introduce you. Well worth your time to dive into his work. Long story short, the concept is eventually intelligence will reach a point in automation where it can automate its own production and its own improvement. That's recursive self-improvement. The report goes on to say that preparing for this prospect requires a massive interdisciplinary endeavor of global scope and interest. Let's have a very short conversation about this. If we were to get a system like Fable 5, the model that just came out and was shortly banned from Anthropic, if we were to have those systems generally available to regular people on the daily, a lot of smart people think that that would be bad. They think that rogue bad actors would use that type of technology to create things that we just don't really want around. And that is a perspective that I do in many ways agree with. But this report goes on to detail so many things. You can download it, you can share it, you can view the publication, which I have right here up on the screen, from AGI to ASI on Cornell University's archive. I love this site. If you've never been here, please do yourself a favor and go as soon as you can. The HTML version of this report is accessible on the web, but you can also look at the PDF, which is what I like to do, because then I can download it and save it forever. There are many sections: the summary instructions, the introduction, life as we don't know it, characterizing artificial superintelligence, universal AI, technological pathways and potential bottlenecks to ASI, remarks, outlook, summary, and glossary. Now, the discussion that I wanted to have very briefly with you is the idea that because all of these breakthroughs are on the table and we're seeing innovations from companies like Figure AI and Midjourney, which now has a no radiation ultrasound technology, which I'll put on the screen now, this video from Midjourney really did a number. There were a lot of reactions to this. Why is an image company trying to break into the world of medical technology? But if you think about it, it really does make sense. What Midjourney actually does is take diffuse data, stuff that is hard to classify and non-structured, and then turns it into something that's easy to understand. So this video shows that Midjourney is using ultrasound technology and creating an image of people's bodies. Now, this is where my take sort of diverges from a lot of the mainstream people. I think that this is a good thing. I think that we should have AGI as fast as possible. I think that we should make sure that we regulate it accordingly and protect human beings, obviously. But what does that actually entail? What are we regulating? And how and who is doing that and why? These are big open questions. When the end of disease is something that is being seriously discussed by mainstream thinkers, I believe that it is probably a good idea to take these people seriously and take a look at why they're saying the things they're saying. This paper, these videos, these innovations are some of the reasons why some of the smartest people in the world right now believe that we are on the edge of the technological singularity, or the idea that very, very soon this technology will be able to improve itself without human beings needing to be involved in any part of that process. Of course, popular culture would tell you that that's how we get the Terminator or the Matrix. But if we educate ourselves, if we take a moment to really plan this out, if you in particular take a moment to seriously consider the implications of how that technology could be applied in your life, I think there's an argument to be made that processing this not as a novelty or a threat, but as an asset and a tool could be something that could be highly, highly advantageous to your life. If I were to make a recommendation, I'd say go read this paper, go look at these videos. I'll put them all down in the description, and also leave me a comment and let me know what you would like me to talk about next. I am very interested in continuing to make more of these videos, so please let me know what you want me to cover in the next one. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
Nice.